and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
Supreme Court hearing arguments on an Illinois law that forces public workers to pay union dues whether they're part of the union or not.
You owe me $34,000.
Thought today was Tuesday.
Tuesday.
What up, my Gippa?
Showtime.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is time once again, my friends, for Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams.
And I'm the LeaderMan's benign sidekick, Matt Horsley. Good morning. Text line number is 690-0116, 690-0116.
Don't forget, of course, we are being heard and seen around the world on our live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. That's talk973.com. Links right there at the top middle of the page. One click and you're listening and watching. If you only want to listen, meaning just want to get our crystal clear digital audio stream, well, we suggest the TuneIn app or iTunes. Into that app, you just put WEEB into that. If you're on the YouTube app wanting to see the video, you put Mornings with the LeaderMan in there. LeaderMan, all one word. If you're on our website, you can also get our crystal clear digital audio stream simply by clicking that little icon in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages that says Listen Live. It's that easy. Weather-wise for us today here in the Sandhills area, it's going to start out a little foggy but turn very nice. Mostly sunny today. High of 63. That's about as good as it gets there. Then tonight, partly cloudy. You'll think these days in August. Partly cloudy tonight, a low of 40. Tomorrow, rain. That little annoying spit and sputter rain moves back in here like we had yesterday. Cloudy skies, chance of that wet stuff. High of 61. Same thing for Wednesday night, a low of 56. Thursday, we'll start out with a little bit of rain and then turn partly cloudy by afternoon. High of 69 degrees on Thursday. Thursday night, 46. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, all sunshine. Finally, we get a stretch in there. You can watch your car, and it will last more than a day. Mostly sunny Friday, high of 62. And over the weekend, we'll be right around the 58, 59 degree mark, and the same for Monday. Right now around the Sandhills, winds are calm, visibility 2 statute miles, so headlights on. Pressure is 3042, dew point 32. Humidity maxed out at 100%. It's foggy and 32 degrees. Currently here at Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. All right, it is 7:30 past the hour. Let's jump straight into sound bites this morning. See where that carries us. Well, let's go in. Let's just start out dangerous, shall we? Let's go into that scary part of our universe. We're talking about 1 minute inside a woman's head. This is episode number 451. Can you believe we're up to that mark? It's called The Bachelor.
And now it's time for another episode of 1 Minute Inside a Woman's Head.
Why does everyone love The Bachelor so much? I mean, we live in a country where everyone says the institution of marriage is sacred, yet we try to marry off one drunk stranger to another on a TV show? A bunch of desperate women fawn all over a guy they've never met, know nothing about, haven't done a background check on or anything. And they act like they'll die if they don't get a friggin' rose from the guy. And I'm pretty sure the producers have an entire cellar full of wine and champagne to pour down their throats just so they're more interesting to watch. It's kind of like legalized prostitution, isn't it? These women are throwing themselves at this guy for a date, and most of them will sleep with him for the chance to be Mrs. Whoever you are. I don't know, maybe I'm just jealous that they get to be on TV, get free food and alcohol, and get the chance to marry a hot guy. Huh. I wonder if they'll do a sad, slightly older version of The Bachelor sometime soon. I'm going to check the audition schedule.
And that was another episode of 1 Minute Inside a Woman's Head.
And from 1 minute inside a woman's head, we go into another part of our universe, which doesn't take quite as long. A few seconds inside a man's head. This is episode 36. It's called Man Lotion.
And now it's time for another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
My wife got me some new lotion. This is good lotion. Oh, that's better. My hands were so dry. All right, where was I?
And that was another episode of A Few Seconds Inside a Man's Head.
All right, from that we go straight to Kim Jong-un is here with a special message about the Olympics and the Oscars.
And now, a minute with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
Hello, loser America. It is Kim Jong-un. Are you still crying about Olympics? We beat you so bad, didn't we? North Korea won 400 gold medals. At least that's what news he said. You're terrible at sports. You're also terrible at movies. You have Academy Award Sunday. Did you know I am member of Academy Voting Committee? Hear my vote. Best movie. My whole movie are launching missile. Great cinema. Must eat popcorn. Best actor. Me. Best actress. Me again. I'm so good and one award not enough. So there. You don't even need to watch. Cause you movies terrible. Hashtag I hate you.
That was a minute with North Korean leader Kim Jong-un.
Well, you know how a lot of these morning shows and noon shows and local TV do a lot of touchy-feely stories. And there was one in San Diego. They were doing a segment on with animal zoos. And a big bird flew in and landed on their heads. This is a big, I guess, orange-looking bird, pink-orange. Anyway, it was a scarlet
Ibis.
Ibis. Is that an I? Yeah, it is. Anyway, I gotta go see Dr. Kavanaugh. You do. Blurs get hard to read sometimes. It's a big bigger than a duck. It looks like a mini flamingo. And her name is Nicole Medina. And
why would they name a bird Nicole Medina?
I don't know. No, actually, the reporter's name is Nicole Medina. She's with CBS 8, as they call it, there in San Diego. And here it is. You may have seen that video already, but if you haven't, here's the audio end of it. With the bird just all of a sudden flies in and lands on her head. And then it starts attacking the male counterpart.
They're good for ridding your garden of bugs or flying onto my head.
How's that for an introduction?
Yes.
Right.
We'll be right
we'll be
back
talking
with
about
Zoo
this
Day.
next or now. Jeez.
He sings soprano, doesn't he? When he's attacked. Don't get it. All right. Another news station in Los Angeles did a report about fake reviews online and tracked down a bunch of people in other countries who write fake business reviews for money. The guy in this clip is from Bangladesh, and he'll post reviews for your business all day for $4 on Google and $5 on Facebook, all under different identities. The woman is Patty Black, and she runs a stationery store in Los Angeles, and she signed up for a fake review service to see what would happen. The report says that you can know when a review is fake if the same reviewer posts reviews businesses in different countries at the same time, or if the same business gets a flood of new reviews in a short period of time.
You write the reviews yourself?
Yes.
Are you in Bangladesh?
Yes, I am from Bangladesh.
How much for each review?
Google 4 and Facebook 5.
You use fake names of people?
Yes.
How many reviews have you written for people?
1,000.
They also fabricated a review from Martin J., whose picture really belongs to a businessman named Christopher Salzberg in Florida, who told us someone stole my photograph off the internet.
Doris says, I love this shop. Who are these people? They don't know my store. You can't lie. You can't lie.
All right. Well, there you go. Just because it's on the internet, it must be true.
That's right. I thought you were going to say something contrary to that for a moment. I was going to have to say, no, Steve, if it's on the internet, you can trust it.
Yeah.
Especially if it's from Yahoo Answers or Quora.com. Those answers are always right.
Or Snops.
Except when they're completely Snopes?
Snopes, whatever it is.
Yeah, well,
half of that's fake news, too.
But Answers and Quora, it's just a bunch of idiots. Somebody asks a question, a bunch of idiots get in. Whether they know the answer or not, they, well, I think it might be this. All right, who asked you? Nobody asked you for what you think. Just what you know.
It's kind of like, what was I watching? There was somebody critiquing the president. Of course, it was a flaming liberal who hates him. And he was answering it. He was saying all the right things, the president was. But they were saying, well, he didn't have the right demeanor in his answers. I'm like, oh, please. This guy couldn't die in front of you correctly. You always gripe about the way he died, if that were to happen. Just gets a little old when there's always criticism about everything. Nothing can be done correctly.
Well, it's an indicator of lack of intellectual honesty, that's for sure.
And now this impersonator in Arkansas is running for Congress. By the way, if you like to run for office, and let me back up here. Let me stay with this thought. If you'd like to run for office, there's a lot, it's one thing to won't change. There's another thing to make it happen. There are several ways to do it. One is to get behind the candidate, honestly support them, help them get speaking engagements, whatever, to get the message out, because that's the most difficult part. And assist them in that way. If you can get them arranged at some function to speak, that's big. That's very helpful. But or you can run for office yourself, and it's not too late. You got till noon tomorrow to go to the Board of Elections and file for an election. If you think you'd be good with the school board, there are positions open, some at-large seats open. Or with the commissioners who control the purse strings of everything in this county, you can run there. If you are think you'd be good at the clerk of court, you'd be better than what we have, you can run. There are a lot of offices, state representatives, state senate. Both seats are up for grabs this time. If you want to go to Raleigh and try to make a change from within there, well, the seat's open. The time is limited. You're down to noon tomorrow. And what's involved with registering to run is simply just going up and filling out a couple of forms. You have to pay a filing fee, which isn't that exorbitant. Depending on the office, it depends on the filing fee. It changes from office to office. But the sheriff is the worst, so I know it's less than $728, okay? But some of them are a whole lot less. And the point is, step up and do it. And see if you can get elected, then you can make a change from within, or at least help try to. But it's the way it's done.
And I would add, obviously, running for office is not for everybody for all kinds of reasons, but you actually can make a difference if you get involved. Matter of fact, I was just talking to yesterday, the lady from Freedom Works. She's going to be speaking at the Morty Citizens event next month, and it's going to be about activism. You can get involved and you can make a difference. I've personally seen that happen. You could make a difference even if you're not running. But hats off to those who do. It's not an easy gig. Well, unless you run unopposed, then it's a lot easier.
Let's see if this is it. No, that's not it. I did get a letter back from the Board of Elections. So I'm trying to dig up right quick. Let me do it this way.
I was up in Raleigh yesterday, as a matter of fact, making things happen. So I think this will be interesting to folks. I went up there expecting to have to make a little speech to the Department of Commerce folks because they're going around doing their public comment period on offshore drilling. And the way they do it now is they've got a big room set up. They've got tables all around the room with different people who are experts in their part of it, sonar and seismic testing and all kinds of stuff. And you can walk around and talk to these people, read what they have, what is the plan, what is involved with this particular proposal. And then the comment is done on a bank of computers. People sit down and type their public comment. That is what is considered by the public agency. So it was interesting. It was much better way than the usual lineup of people whining, complaining, saying the same thing.
Well, again, if you want to run for office, you got till noon tomorrow. You go to the Board of Elections here and sign up. Of course, if you're running for Congress, you'll have to go to Raleigh to register. The Board of Elections sent me my letter. We do have enough signatures we'll be on the November ballot. We will not be on the May primary. That's when they'll decide who they're going to pick to run against me.
Woohoo!
But we're on the big ballot. That's the one where the actual sheriff will be elected.
Congratulations, Steve. That has been a lot of hard work on your part, I know.
Well, just to show you how hard it was, they have here in the letter that I turned in, I needed 2,641 names. Keep that number in mind, 2,641. That's 4% of the population, voting population. That was the official number. We said 3,000 because we knew some would be kicked out, and hopefully we'd have the 2641 when we were through. I turned in 3,971 signatures total.
Wow.
And if you count the ones I have upstairs, it's right at 4,000. They will be turned in. But right at 4,000 signatures. And after they rejected signatures for all sorts of reasons, one, they weren't registered to vote, or it was a duplicate signature, or they
Out of county voter.
They had passed away, out of county voter. The
duplicates.
Well, they hadn't registered, and so they hadn't voted so long they were removed from the registration.
Sometimes people forget they signed a petition the first time, sign it again.
Yeah. It knocked it down to 2,711 names.
Wow.
From 4,000 to 2,711, so roughly 1,300 people, names got rejected. I figured it up. It was a 32% rejection rate. That's a lot.
It's a lot.
And I knew, I said, golly, I know we got 3,000. I know we got 3,000. We had 3,000. We had 4,000. And you're going, God, you're not at the number yet? And you just keep getting them and keep getting them and keep getting them. And I just can't thank everyone enough for hanging in there and signing this thing. And even the ones that signed it twice, I thank you for doing that.
Yeah, and there were some people
They catch it, but, the enthusiasm's there.
They took petitions and circulated them themselves and got multiple signatures.
I can't begin to ever repay the outpouring that's been shown. And now but don't panic when you go into your booth on May 8th and say, where's his name? Because I will not be on the May ballot. We get to go around that ballot and go straight to November. Now everybody has to make it to me. I'm already in the enviable position they have to come to me. I don't have to go to them. I don't have to get through anybody to get to them. And that was the other nice thing about being an unaffiliated candidate. The negative part of it is we're last on the ballot. I asked them, I said, last time I was last on the ballot, where will I be this time? And she said, last on the ballot. I said, why is that? Well, she says you list the two major parties first and then all the other candidates. I said, in other words, I get treated like a, adopted redheaded stepchild. Is that the way it works? Always in the basement? And that's an old country saying. But she says that's just the way the law is. So
As a member of the redheaded subculture, I'm offended.
Well, again, you get over it. Again, it's the system always pushing down anybody who's not part of that system, trying to keep the deck stacked. But we're going to show them this time with your help. We're going to flush our own little swamp, and we'll start with the sheriff's department and work out from that. I know another candidate may run for school board. I hope he does. Can't say because he'll have to do it himself. But he'll be an excellent candidate if he does. He hadn't filed yet, but he knows he's got till noon tomorrow. And I hope he comes through. I really do. He'll be good for getting the school board into shape, because I'm not mentioning any names, but some folks just don't know their numbers. And with all that's on the plate of the school board, they got to get to know their numbers. And sometimes the tail up there is wagging the dog, and it's got to turn around and be the other way. Because the administration is running it, not the board. And that's got to stop and get reversed.
That is my observation. Yes, Steve. It seems so often like a rubber stamp for whatever comes from the head office.
Yeah. So I think this would be a good step in stopping that trend, but he's got to run first. But we'll see.
And let me caveat
If he
that.
files, then I'll bring it up.
Let me caveat that by saying that is strictly an observation, and there was a change up there recently in terms of who's running it and all, and so that's an old observation. I really should.
Well, we improved the board, but it's not where it needs to be yet, and they're good people on the board. It's just that they're getting railroaded by the administration, and it needs to stop. And I've mentioned this before that a lot of times staff does the budgets, not the councils, not the boards or anything else. Staff does it, but that's where the board has the responsibility to dig into those numbers and really understand every line in there. And it's just not done very often. They just take the staff's word for it and they rubber stamp it, and the boards are just so afraid of ticking off the staff. And you got to remember, staff is bureaucrats. Bureaucrats do it the same old way in the same old box. And that's what we got to start getting out of. There are better ways of doing things. And that's where private enterprise-oriented people can help by coming in and put a new thought pattern in there, as what I call getting out of the taxpayer's hip pocket. Quit doing things that get in your own pocket. It's just stupid. But they do it that way because it's always done that way. And everything there is already geared to function that way. And that's why you got to rip it out and reorganize it to a way that it doesn't work against the taxpayer. All right, I'll get off of it now, but paid for by Adams for sheriff, just in case. Let's move on. Sound bites. There's what I was doing all this to lead up to this report. An Elvis impersonator in Arkansas is running for Congress.
Thank you.
His legal name is Elvis Presley. Elvis D. Presley, to be specific. He changed it from Joey Ashmore. He's a Libertarian nominee, and he wants to unseat a Republican who represents Arkansas's 1st Congressional District. He's 51. It's not the first time he's run for office. He's run for governor, state legislature, land commissioner. Here's a local news report from back when he ran for governor.
As you might know, there is no shortage of office holders with famous names in Arkansas politics.
There's Secretary of State Charlie Daniels, Pulaski County Sheriff Doc Holliday, and remember former White County Sheriff Pat Garrett? Well, you can add Elvis to the list. Elvis D. Presley. Turns out Elvis is or was Joey Ashmore of Star City. He told me he prefers to be called Joey Elvis Presley, but he would not confirm to me if that was his given name or if he changed it, or neither. Despite his name, he is serious about running.
I've had that problem in the past. People don't take me serious, but when they meet me and talk to me, then they realize, oh, hey, this guy's for real, you know. And I am for real. It's nothing, no calamity here, you know. It's just, I wish people would see the real me.
Vote authenticity. Vote Elvis Presley.
Meanwhile, of course, Trump met with the governors yesterday, and I knew it would happen. The governor of how much time I got? The governor of Washington stood up because Trump was talking about arming school teachers, and we're not just school teachers, but maybe administrators and principals and coaches and those that are capable of doing the training and handling the weapons proficiently might carry weapons. And the liberal left, you know, it's just, they want to just plain disarm America. You know, just can't see the way, you know, some defense is better than no defense. I mean, what's the sense in lying down and taking the bullet? I just don't get it.
Well, like the coach and the teacher did down there in Florida. If my only option is to jump in the way and take a bullet for a kid,
yeah,
what kind of an option is that? That's a crappy option.
You know, somebody's not so brave with a gun when the bullets are coming back at them. They aren't quite the same that way. And the president made the comment yesterday that, you know, even without a weapon, and given the circumstances, nobody knows exactly what they'll do until you're confronted with the circumstance. But he would jump in, and he felt like he would run in with or without a weapon, and at least try to do something. Drag some kids out of there that might be in the line of fire. But anyway, he said it, and well, here's exactly what he said.
I got to watch some deputy sheriffs performing this weekend. They weren't exactly Medal of Honor winners, all right? The way they performed was, frankly, disgusting. They were listening to what was going on. The one in particular, he was early, then you had three others. You know, I really believe, you don't know until you test it, but I think I really believe I'd run in there even if I didn't have a weapon. And I think most of the people in this room would have done that too.
Well, of course, Stephen Colbert, born Stephen Colbert, changed to Stephen Colbert so he could look down his little snooty nose and through his four eyes at you and condemn anything that this man says. And, of course, he jumped right on that one.
You know, I really believe, you don't know until you test it, but I think I really believe I'd run in there even if I didn't have a weapon.
There's a lot in there that I...
Did you hear any comedy in that? I didn't. But you had the little liberal pansies in the audience.
But the part I really don't believe is that he can run. Look, sir, we already know how you react to combat situations. You got 5 deferments from Vietnam. What are you going to do, run in there and stab them with your bone spurs?
Well, I know what you would do, Stephen. You'd lie down like a wimp and take a bullet, I guess. Or you try to reason with a man with a assault rifle pointed at you. That would make sense, wouldn't it? Heather Locklear was arrested for domestic violence. She was arrested Sunday night for attacking her boyfriend. And some cops who were called to the scene. Heather's brother called the police because she was having a fight with her boyfriend. One source says she almost bit off the tip of his nose. But whatever she did, it left some kind of visible mark, so they arrested her, charged her with a felony. At that point, she became combative. She punched a female cop and a male cop and then kicked another male officer in the groin. She also called him an effing asshole. And she also, that's a quote, she was so bad that they had to actually force her into the police car. Heather was charged with 1 felony count of domestic battery, 3 misdemeanor charges of battery on a police officer. She was released yesterday morning on a $20,000 bail. Her boyfriend was arrested just a few hours later for drunk driving. The guy's name is Chris Heiser. TMZ says that they were high school sweethearts who had started dating again. But, anyway, here's you think she would have moved, you would think she would have more empathy for cops since she played one on TJ Hooker.
We may see some patches of fog or low cloudiness here and there early today. Otherwise, we'll see a lot of sunshine overall. It'll be fairly mild and a good deal less humid than yesterday by this afternoon. We'll have highs around 60 to 66. Tonight, fair in the evening. Clouds will be increasing overnight with lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Then on Wednesday, mostly cloudy to cloudy, a little cooler. We'll have a small chance of some sprinkles or light rain, mainly during the afternoon or evening. Highs 57 to 63. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
97.3 FM and 990 AM. WPEB Southern Pines, Pinehurst, Aberdeen. And on the web at talk973.com.
Breaking news this hour from townhall.com. I'm Greg Clugston in Charlotte, North Carolina. It's day number 2 of public visitation at the Billy Graham Library. Yesterday, thousands of people walked past Graham's closed casket to honor the famed evangelist. Former President George W. Bush and Laura Bush were among the visitors.
If there's such a thing as a humble shepherd of the Lord,
Billy Graham is that person.
Today, former President Bill Clinton will pay his respects. Graham's son, Franklin, says the entire family is grateful for the love and encouragement.
Thank you for your kindness to my father.
I'm Greg Clugston in Charlotte. Now here's Bob Agnew in Nashville.
I'm here at the National Religious Broadcasters Convention. Two themes have really struck me so far in connection with this gathering about to get underway in earnest today: security and freedom. Security abnormally high this year, due in large part to a visit later today from Vice President Mike Pence. And freedom of speech high on the agenda this year, as NRB officials tell me internet censorship is a growing concern, one that's affecting many NRB members already. And organizers are also stressing that the fact that this is the 75th annual NRB convention is testimony to the enduring importance of religious broadcasting in America. I'm Bob Agnew, live in Nashville. Now for more news, back to Rich Thomason in Washington.
The criminal case against the gunman accused in the Florida high school shooting returns to court today, with prosecutors seeking hair samples, fingerprints, DNA, and photos of suspect Nicholas Cruz. Georgia's Lieutenant Governor Casey Cagle vowing to kill a proposed sales tax exemption on jet fuel unless Delta Airlines reverses its decision to end a discount program with the National Rifle Association. Futures pointing to a lower open later this morning on Wall Street. Right now, Dow futures down 30 points. NASDAQ futures off 10. S&P futures 4 points lower. More on these stories at townhall.com.
Hello, I'd like to deposit this to checking.
Fate is a fickle master.
What?
The future is uncertain.
Okay, and what's my account balance?
The horizon is cloudy. I see a long, treacherous voyage filled with great peril.
Look, can I just get a deposit slip or something?
A fortune bank teller. Surprising. What's not surprising? How much you could save by switching to Geico.
I see a yellow-eyed serpent and a low APR.
Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Mike Gallagher here again for one of my all-time, and I mean all-time favorite sponsors, ReliefFactor.com. My story is simple. I had a hip replaced, then I had a motorcycle accident, left me in pain, simply wouldn't go away until I started taking Relief Factor. A 3-week quick start is just $19.95. 80% of people who do order the 3-week quick start go on to order more, like me. Go to ReliefFactor.com, ReliefFactor.com, or give them a call. 800-500-8384, 800-500-8384, ReliefFactor.com.
Senator Joe Manchin says he's awaiting a signal from President Trump before reintroducing a bill aimed at expanding background checks for gun sales.
The bill, co-sponsored with Republican Senator Pat Toomey of Pennsylvania, was first introduced in 2013 and has repeatedly failed to pass in the U.S. Senate. The bill has attracted renewed attention following the school shootings in Parkland, Florida. It would expand firearm background checks to include online sales and sales at gun shows. Senator Manchin tells West Virginia's Metro News he and Senator Toomey won't bring up the bill unless the president signs on. President Trump has floated a number of ideas following the Parkland shootings, including arming teachers, increasing mental health screenings, and expanding background checks. Linda Kenyon, Washington.
In a rare public expression of dissent in China, a well-known political commentator and a prominent businesswoman have penned open letters urging lawmakers to reject a plan that would allow President Xi Jinping to rule indefinitely. Townhall.com. The Trump administration says it's actively exploring ways to help states expand inpatient mental health treatment using Medicaid funds.
In the old days, you'd put them into a mental institution.
That's what President Trump told the nation's governors about the alleged Florida high school shooter. Nicholas Cruz's troubling behavior had prompted people close to him to plead for help from authorities without success. Organizations representing state officials and people with mental illness say no one wants to go back to warehousing patients, but they also say that federal action is needed to reverse a decades-old policy which bars Medicaid from paying for treatment in mental health facilities with more than 16 beds. President Trump says the current situation leaves authorities with no halfway.
We have nothing between a prison and leaving him at his house, which we can't do anymore.
Ben Thomas, Washington.
German cities have gotten a green light from a judge to ban diesel vehicles from their streets. More on these stories at townhall.com.
This is Chuck from Sunbelt Service Pros. Are you just not feeling it anymore with your AC service provider? Are you calling those guys because that's what you've always done, or because there's a sticker on the thermostat with an old phone number on it? How about this? Take a chance and you'll be thrilled to find that you're getting real value for your heating and cooling dollars. When you call Sunbelt Service Pros, you are dealing with a professional and reliable service provider. Our technicians are highly trained and certified and can quickly address any issues. Our customers find our technicians and office staff courteous, friendly, and professional throughout the whole process. We're doing something right here. You need to check us out. Find out what you've been missing and call us today. Sunbelt Service Pros at 910-944-2044 or go online to sunbeltservicepros.com.
Jerry, I think it's about time for you to give our listeners your new slogan.
Happy to, Charles. Now that you tried the rest, come back to the best. Kick back at the Hickory Tavern.
And speaking of time, Jerry, the Hickory now opens at 11 a.m. for lunch.
That's right, Charles. Just more time at the Hickory.
Yep, I know you and I both are early lunch birds, so we can get in and get out. Well, at least I can get out early.
Hey, I'm retired, so I can kick back.
Yeah, rub it in.
Well, one thing we agree on for sure.
Yep, when it comes to your favorite sports bar,
don't fool around. Fall in love with the Hickory Tavern.
By using local businesses, you give back to your community, supporting your police, fire, and rescue departments, town maintenance, and schools. You create jobs and friendships. John Cole's Plumbing Professionals has been your plumbing contractor for many years and wants to continue serving this great community for many more to come. For outstanding service, call your local plumber, John Cole's Plumbing Professionals, 910-639-4933, 639-4933.
NCN News. I'm Mike Rayleigh. A Union County man unwittingly broadcast his murder live on Facebook. Wingate police have identified Douglas Cleveland Colson as the man they believe shot and killed Prentice Robinson Monday morning. This woman lives near Wingate University, where the shooting happened.
I saw crime tape, detectives parked in the yard, police cars parked in the yard. They was just all around.
The assault weapons ban of 2018 bill was introduced on Monday, with many Democrats getting behind the new effort to ban assault weapons. Congressman David Price from North Carolina is vice chair of the Gun Violence Prevention Task Force in the House.
These weapons, these battlefield weapons, they really have no purpose other than to kill masses of people.
Hundreds of people paid their respects to the Reverend Billy Graham, whose body is laying in repose in a closed casket at his restored boyhood home in Charlotte. Dr. Don Wilton was Reverend Graham's pastor. Wilton tells ABC 11 the Reverend Graham and his wife Ruth saw a broadcast of him preaching in South Carolina about 25 years ago. The Reverend Graham invited Wilton to his home in Montreat, leading to a close friendship.
But I want you to know that it wasn't just about what he said and his wonderful sermons. It was how he lived.
Some members of Congress are pushing forward with gun control legislation. In the Senate, a bipartisan bill seeks to strengthen the National Instant Criminal Background Check System and raise the age to buying an assault rifle. CBS News' Henda Doba says that plan is already showing heavy resistance.
There are so many people opposed to it, like Minority Leader Chuck Schumer. He says the NRA cannot be trusted.
The man charged with killing 3-year-old Mariah K. Woods in Jacksonville and dumping her body in a Pender County creek last year pleaded not guilty to charges on Monday. You're listening to NCN News.
At AT&T, we believe that access to affordable home internet brings you incredible opportunities. You can enjoy the power to explore a digital world of possibilities and connect with family, friends, and the things that matter most. That's why there's access from AT&T. If a member of your household is a SNAP participant, you may qualify for home internet at a discounted rate of $10 a month. No commitment, no deposit, no installation fee. Plus, get an in-home Wi-Fi gateway at no extra cost. Call 1-855-220-5211 or visit att.com/aware to learn more.
SNAP refers to the Federal Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program. Pricing excludes tax. Service will include a monthly data allowance depending on the type and speed of service you receive. If you exceed your monthly data plan allowance, you will be automatically charged $10 for each 50 gigabytes of data usage in excess of your data plan, even if less than 50 gigabytes is used. For details about data allowances, go to att.com/internet-usage. Wi-Fi enabled device required. Other restrictions apply.
Former President George W. Bush paid his respects to the late Reverend Billy Graham in Charlotte on Monday. He spoke briefly with reporters, accompanied by former First Lady Laura Bush.
Laura and I are honored to be able to come and pay our respects to the Graham family and more importantly, to be able to say goodbye to a person who is influential in our lives and influential in the lives of millions.
North Carolina Superintendent of Public Instruction Mark Johnson said Monday that teachers should not be armed in the classroom. Instead, he supports more funding from school resource officers. Delta is the latest major company to distance itself from the NRA by dropping discounts for members. Now lawmakers in Georgia are threatening to retaliate. Details from CBS's Vicki Barker.
The state's Republican lieutenant governor is threatening to kill a proposed $50 million tax cut on jet fuel, calling Delta's decision to cut ties with the National Rifle Association an attack on conservatives. Delta, one of Georgia's biggest employers, insists it tries to remain neutral in national debates. Georgia Democrats claiming this shows Republican state lawmakers are in the pockets of the NRA. Vicki Barker, CBS News.
It'll be illegal soon to sip through plastic in Southern California.
Plastic straws, stirrers, and utensils are being outlawed in Malibu. The city council has voted to ban restaurants and food vendors from offering or selling them. The goal is to keep non-biodegradables from clogging landfills and polluting oceans and beaches along the California coast. Businesses have until June 1st to make the switch to paper, wood, or bamboo. Diners will also be encouraged to bring their own reusables. Mayor Rick Mullen says it's the right thing to do, even if people have to pay a little more for it. Deborah Rodriguez, CBS News.
Mike Rayleigh, NCN News.
High pressure pushing across the area today should leave us with mostly sunny to sunny skies. We'll have fairly mild temperatures and turn quite a bit less humid than yesterday. We'll have highs around 60 to 66. Tonight we'll have fair skies in the evening. Clouds will be increasing after that, and it'll be a little chilly. Lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. We'll stay a little cooler Wednesday under mostly cloudy to cloudy skies. We can't rule out a few sprinkles or patches of light rain, mainly in the afternoon and evening. Highs upper 50s to low 60s. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
Currently here in the Sand Hills, sunny and 40 degrees, humidity 100%, dew point 40, pressure is 30-45. Winds calm, visibility is at 8 statute miles. 8:12. Let's take a look at your Sand Hills news for this Tuesday morning. A motorcycle driver was seriously injured in a single vehicle accident in Pine Bluff yesterday morning. Emergency responders were dispatched around 11:20 to reports of a motorcycle accident in the residential neighborhood off of Lewis Lane and Willow Creek Lane. Firefighters arrived at the scene to find a male victim with reported serious head injuries. A helicopter was initially called to assist with this incident. However, due to extended arrival times for an aircraft, the victim was transported by ambulance to First Health. According to law enforcement at the scene, the victim was not wearing a helmet at the time the accident occurred. In a simple ceremony on a damp and gray morning, the Moore County Airport broke ground on a world-class putting green to be installed in front of the terminal building. The pilot reporting the green is being built on behalf of the airport by Pinehurst PPF, a local nonprofit organization. The green will be seen and used by passengers traveling through the airport, visiting pilots, and the thousands of other visitors who come to the airport every year. Dan Maples, the golf architect who designed the putting green, said our town is the golf capital of America, and golf is the essence of our brand. Go anywhere in the world and mention Pinehurst, and people know about our village and the story of golf in America. Marty McKenzie, president of Pinehurst PPF, agrees. He said a golf green simply makes sense. When anyone comes through the airport, the first thing they should see is a symbol of what we're all about. The total cost of the project, estimated to be $80,000. The entire project will be funded from private donations. No public money will be used. And Pinehurst Village Council and residents will get their first look this afternoon at proposed architectural designs and floor plans for a community center in Cannon Park. Both supporters and opponents are marshaling their forces for what could be a lively meeting. It begins at 4:30 at the Village Hall. At least 4 of the 5 council members support moving forward with building a community center, which was first proposed more than a decade ago. They cite a number of studies, demand statistics, and results of annual resident community surveys that showed support for the project from residents, especially with the growing number of families with children who now live in the village. The Pilot is reporting that opponents argue that some of those residents who support building a center might reconsider had they known the cost. They also say the village has other pressing needs that could include building a new library. The village has set aside $3.1 million from the past budget surpluses for the center, which initially was estimated to cost $4.1 million. That's your latest Sand Hills news this morning, but stand by. Here comes your latest in sports right here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM. WEEB is 816.
NCN Sports, I'm Josh Zach. Duke and Virginia Tech played last night, and, well, it was nothing like when the Hokies and Blue Devils met earlier this month. The Hokies never had a shot in their first game. Duke beat them up from start to finish in a 74-52 final, but Virginia Tech would have none of that last night in Blacksburg. Chris Clark tipped in a missed shot with 4 seconds left, and Virginia Tech stunned the fifth-ranked Blue Devils 64-63 to end Duke's 5-game win streak.
To their credit, they made a big play at the end, and we had our opportunities. You know, tough baseline, loose ball there where we almost had the offensive rebound, and they stuck in there, and then they made a big play at the end.
Next up for fifth-ranked Duke, they will face their biggest rival, number 9 North Carolina, on Saturday. The Tar Heels won the first meeting in Chapel Hill. The rematch is in Durham on Saturday. Carolina, meanwhile, they're back in action tonight. They'll be at home against Miami. Roy Williams has been enjoying a little time off after a harried schedule of late.
We had those 3 games in 5 days, and then we'll go 2 games in 10 or 12 days or whatever it is. But we've had a couple of good practices. Hope they'll get us ready for Miami team that certainly got a lot of things to play for, but so do we.
Other North Carolina programs in play on Monday. North Carolina A&T beat Bethune-Cookman 86-80 to snap the Wildcats' 5-game win streak. Savannah State beat NC Central. The Panthers announced they've released veteran safety Kurt Coleman and defensive end Charles Johnson. Seattle Seahawks quarterback Russell Wilson has reported to a week of spring training with the New York Yankees. The 2014 Super Bowl champion and former NC State athlete worked at second base and drills Monday with shortstop Didi Gregorius. The 29-year-old spent parts of 2010 and 2011 playing second base in Class A ball for the Colorado Rockies organization. The Yankees are his favorite baseball team. They acquired him from Texas about 3 weeks ago. This is NCN Sports.
Break away from the everyday with Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
In less than 30 seconds, I know I can make you hungry. Ready? Here we go. Chicken breast, chicken wing, drumstick, pulled pork barbecue, potato salad, coleslaw, sweet iced tea. I don't know about you, but I'm starving. Where am I going? I'm headed to Smithfield's.
Break away from the everyday to Smithfield's Chicken and Barbecue.
Nothing beats listening to legendary music, and nothing beats the legendary quality of John Deere. Right now, dealers across the country are offering extra savings to landscape professionals, producers, and property owners who are ready to make the switch to John Deere compact utility tractors, and hay tools. Discover the valuable trade-in bonus for your current brand of equipment by visiting johndeere.com/switch. Make your legendary move to John Deere today.
The NHL trade deadline was not a big headline in Raleigh. The Pittsburgh Penguins made an acquisition from Carolina forward Josh Juris in exchange for center Greg McKegg, which the Carolina Hurricanes are sending to the Charlotte Checkers. Carolina placed Juris on waivers February 8th and sent him to the minors when he cleared waivers. He had 3 goals and 3 assists in 31 games for Carolina. Golden State will be skipping the White House when they go to Washington to play the Wizards this week. The traditional champion's invitation was never granted from Donald Trump, and it appeared the Warriors might have declined it anyway. So they plan to spend their day in the city with local children today. The White House visit is traditionally scheduled during the NBA Champions trip to face the Washington Wizards the following season. The Warriors play the Wizards tomorrow. Josh Zach, NCN Sports.
Hi, this is Becky. My buddy Bob and I have started a new business, Pinehurst Concierge Services. We provide errand runs and transportation, grocery pickup and shopping, home sitting, same-day courier service for small businesses, and other services that'll make your day simple and easy. We are veteran and locally owned, always on time, and rates are reasonable. Go online to pinehurstconciergeservices.com or call 910-683-0555, 683-0555, that's 683-0555.
all too familiar with that sound, aren't we? And whether it's hurricanes, snow, ice, or thunderstorms, many of us have learned through experience what it's like to have our lives disrupted by power failures, especially when it affects the very young and the elderly. At Premier Power Generation, they'll protect you against power failure because they distribute the Kohler Power Generation Systems, which automatically provides power even if you're not at home, so that you'll never be without water, heat, air conditioning, or lighting. Premier Power Generations is on Highway 211 just west of Olmsted Village. And to find out more, you can call them at 295-3188. Their technicians are local and always there, and will be glad to give you a free estimate. So to protect yourself against the ever-changing weather, call Premier Power Generation at 295-3188. 295-3188. What keeps your house toasty warm, cooks your food and heats your water, and gives you a great excuse to hang out in front of your fireplace? Propane gas brought to you by McNeil Oil and Propane of Aberdeen. McNeil Oil and Propane can handle all of your propane or heating oil needs. Call them at 944-2329 and have them come out to fill your own tank, or they can provide you with a new one. When you need propane or heating oil, call McNeil Oil and Propane today at 944-2329. That's 944-2329.
Tired of Republicans and Democrats combined? How about some free thinking anchored in the Constitution and the Declaration? Hi, this is Dave Zanotti from the Public Square. You can join in that kind of thought every day at thepublicsquare.com, and you can listen in every week as we look for real answers to real questions. Listen in Saturday at 9 a.m. and Sunday at 3 p.m. right here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB.
Most of us have to live on a budget. That's a fact. But smart budgeting doesn't always mean sacrifice. Hi, this is Charles McKnight. At Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai Pre-Owned, we seek to make your buying experience easy and enjoyable with no gimmicks and no games. We offer you a great selection of pre-owned cars and trucks in every price range, starting as low as $59.95, with rates as low as 2.9%. For your peace of mind, all of our vehicles are Carfax certified, and almost all are local trades. We don't believe any dealership will work more diligently than Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai to provide you with a quality vehicle that's Carfax certified at a better price. Why don't you drop by and experience for yourself the Pinehurst Toyota Hyundai difference.
Homeowners are now in on the secret that lawn care professionals have known for years, and that is that Walker riding mowers are one of the finest riding mowers available anywhere. Superior cut and grass handling capability means faster mowing time. That means more time spent on what you want to do.
Or more honeydews.
See Beaver Equipment on Highway 211 East in Aberdeen and talk to James about the Walker riding mower before you buy, and see for yourself the versatility and economy of a Walker mower. Then you too can mow like a professional.
For professional level equipment and reliable, honest service on pressure washers, air compressors, mowers, blowers, chainsaws, trimmers, and supplies to the trade and the smart homeowner, come to Beaver Equipment on Highway 211 East in Aberdeen, 944-0402. Again, that's 944-0402.
With so much going on, I almost forgot that a fruity, delicious Fanta Orange is still only $1 at Mickey D's. Now that refreshes my memory.
This season, take time to chill with a refreshing Fanta Orange or any size soft drink. All still just $1. Or for $2, grab a small McCafe smoothie, frappe, or shake. So before you forget, head to Mickey D's.
A la carte only. Limited time offer. Participating McDonald's. Cannot be combined with any other offer or any combo meal. Fanta is a registered trademark of the Coca-Cola Company.
Hello, I'm John Zumwalt, and you're in the Zumwalt Zone. Pretty excited to tell you what today is, but first, a story. I love Albies. If you hadn't been there, it's a grocery store and everything's really cheap. One way they keep prices down is to make you put a quarter before you can get a shopping cart. When you're done, you bring it back and you get your 25 cents back. Pretty smart, I think. Well, the first time I went there, I saw a lady bringing her cart back to put it up. I didn't know about the quarter deposit, so I said to her, "I'll take that, ma'am." I took the cart and told Mindy, well, I didn't expect that lady to kiss my hind end, but she acted like she was a little bit angry that I took her cart for her. That's when I learned about the deposit. That was my first time at Albies. I want to tell you about another first. 1 year ago today, I did my first Zoom Wall Zone. I told all of you, this is my first one. It might be the last. We'll see. Well, enough of you've listened that I've been able to do this for a whole year. I'm hoping for another, but again, we'll see. I've made some friends along the way. It's nice to have met you and have heard from you. And you'll find this almost impossible to believe, but I've made some enemies as well. I hate that. I wish they'd just see the light, straighten up, and do what's right. If all of you keep voting them in, I'll keep talking about them. So thank all of you very much for listening. I really appreciate it. Have a good day from the Zoom Wall Zone.
We may see some patches of fog or low cloudiness here and there early today. Otherwise, we'll see a lot of sunshine overall. It'll be fairly mild and a good deal less humid than yesterday by this afternoon. We'll have highs around 60 to 66. Tonight, fair in the evening. Clouds will be increasing overnight with lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Then on Wednesday, mostly cloudy to cloudy, a little cooler. We'll have a small chance of some sprinkles or light rain, mainly during the afternoon or evening. Highs 57 to 63. I'm Mike Moss in the Weather Center.
And now, the Sandhills number one morning show. Mornings with the LeaderMan. Here on Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEB. And heard and seen around the world at talk973.com.
The best part of waking up is waking up with us.
The Supreme Court hearing arguments on an Illinois law that forces public workers to pay union dues, whether they're part of the union or not.
You owe me $34,000.
Thought today was Tuesday. Tuesday.
What up, my Gippa?
Showtime.
Good morning, Talk 97.3 FM and 990 AM WEEB. Welcome back to the most listened to program in all of the Sandhills. It is Mornings with the LeaderMan. I am Steve Leader Adams. And don't forget, we are being seen around the world on a live video stream. That's available to you at talk973.com. Top middle of the page is the link. One click and you're on your way to watching. If you're on a mobile device, you need the TuneIn app. TUNEI, not TuneIn, I'm sorry. It's the YouTube app for video. Into that app, you put Mornings with the LeaderMan in there. LeaderMan is spelled with one word, and we'll pop up at the top. It'll say live now. You click on that and you're watching. If you're on the mobile device, just need audio, we suggest the TuneIn app or iTunes. Just put WEEB into that search and we'll pop up at the top. If you're on our website, you can get our crystal clear digital audio stream 24/7, 365 in the upper right-hand corner of any of our web pages at talk973.com. One click of that and you're listening anywhere in the world. Weather-wise for us today here in the Sandhills, sunshine today. Can't get much better. High of 63 tonight, partly cloudy. 40. Some of that annoying on and off rain will be with us tomorrow night, and into Thursday morning. Otherwise, it'll be cloudy on Wednesday, high of 61. Wednesday night, more clouds, a little light rain, a low of 56. Rain will taper off Thursday morning. We'll go for a high of 69, partly cloudy. By Thursday night, a low of 46. Then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, look for highs around 60. Perfect weather for the Spring Home and Garden Expo that's going to be taking place at the Fair Barn in Pinehurst. And in the studio with us this morning are a couple of those representatives to the Fair Barn Spring Home and Garden Expo, and that's going to be Warren Wakeland, who's the executive director of the Moore County Home Builders Association. We also have Martin Hovland, who is with Builders First Choice, one of the major sponsors of this. And just coming in is John Porter, who is the Moore County Home Builders Association president. Well, let's start out with first with good weather and everything in the works for this weekend. Tell us the operating hours and the overall synopsis of this expo that's coming up.
Well, the show is going to be Friday through Sunday, 2nd through the 4th. Friday we're open from 11 to 5. Saturday we're open from 9 to 5. Sunday we're open from 11 to 5. Excuse me. We're going to have, I believe we've got 47 companies represented, 50 booths, spaces in the show. Just about anything you can think of in terms of home improvement or home development, you're going to be able to find it at that show.
And, of course, you're going to find everything from, I guess, whether you got heating, plumbing, electrical, or building issues, they're all the questions can be answered there. You got builders, you got subcontractors, you got manufacturers, a whole lot of different array, a big variety of things to look at.
And like, as I say, anything that you can think of, you're talking about plumbing and electrical heating, we're talking about windows and doors, landscaping, anything you can think of that has to do with your home. We've got somebody there who can help you solve that problem if you've got a problem you want to look for.
Builder's First Choice is one of the major sponsors. Martin Hovland's here with that. Marvin, why'd y'all pick this to be one of your big projects?
Well, Builder's First Source is very intent on supporting the Moore County Home Builders Association. We do so very strongly. We believe in the builders, and we believe in being part of the association. And the Spring Home and Garden Show is one of their big events that to try to bring awareness to home building, give people some ideas, and maybe answer some questions they might have about their projects that are upcoming.
For the last several years, we've kind of had a lackluster economy, but it seems to be picking up. How's it doing in this area? Because I'm sure you all feel the effects of it pretty quick.
Moore County and the country's coming back quite strong from the downturn in the economy, and the last couple of years have been very good for us.
Well, let's see. Okay, let's talk a little bit about some of the displays that'll be in there, because a lot of these companies go to great elaborate lengths to make it like the kitchen displays, and it's just not carpet on a board. They try to make a real showing at these events. What are some of the the landscaping? They'll set up great big landscaping displays. They'll set up kitchen displays. They bring in appliances you've never seen before. What are some of the things that trends, I guess you'd say, building that the direction of this expo is going?
Well, one of the things that we've noticed in our economy, and it's been noticed nationwide, is a trend toward remodeling and toward what we call building in place. The remodeling market picked up 17% in 2017 over 2016. It's forecast to pick up as much in 2018. You have contractors here who are remodelers. They'll do anything that you need on your house. We have the main trend that we're seeing is people want to, how do I put this? People want to make their home their castle.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that you can do when you have so many exhibitors as we're going to have here is anything you can think of, from installing a new sink to installing a pool to adding a room onto your home, whatever you want. We've got somebody here who can do that for you. The idea is just to come in and speak with them, find out what they can do, set up appointments with them after the show. We had one exhibitor last year who had 36 appointments.
Wow.
After the show, a remodeler. People who, they have an idea of something they want to do with their home. They need to find somebody who can do that. Well, we've got that somebody at this show.
Even if you don't have any ideas of what you want to do, come on down, and there are a lot of people that will be able to help you come up with those. Even if you just got a concept in mind.
Yeah.
Maybe you've just purchased an existing home, or maybe you're interested in building a new home. Literally, you're going to have someone there to talk to about either end of that spectrum.
I used to be a large builder up in the Raleigh area before I retired out of that. But one thing I always did is go to the local spring home and garden shows, as well as the Vegas show that they had with the home builders. And one of the reasons you go is you pick up ideas and see products that you don't know anything about. Even though if you build a lot of houses, there are new products coming online all the time that make it look better, function better. It's a better mousetrap, as I call it. And you probably see it every day, Martin, with Builder's First Source, because you're the first to lay eyes on products like that.
Yeah, we do kind of get exposed to that much sooner than most people do, but it's like with any other business. You don't want to remain stagnant. So getting out there, even as a business, to get some ideas, something new that you might be able to promote for something that you're even building here in Moore County or elsewhere. Great place to go and get those ideas. Plus, it's a great place to bring your family and come on out. We've got food trucks out there that'll be supporting us. So there's something for everybody out there at the Spring Home and Garden Expo.
One of the things that we really stress is the seminars and demonstrations that we set up.
What are some of the seminars you're offering?
Well, one of the things that I'm really excited to see myself. One of the company's design studio for cabinetry is bringing in a 3D kitchen design where they put one of those goggles on your eyes. I don't know
virtual reality.
Virtual reality. Thank you. You get a virtual reality look at what you can do with a kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
That fascinates me. We've got.
I was fascinated with the CAD design myself.
We've got the Moore County Village of Pinehurst Fire Department coming out to talk about fire safety for your home. To teach people how to use a fire extinguisher. There's so many people who honestly don't know how to use one. They're going to show you how to do that, where to put it in your home just in case. 30% of all home fires start in the kitchen. So if you put a fire extinguisher in the kitchen, chances are you can save a lot of your home if you know how to use that extinguisher. We've got the police department, Moore County Sheriff's Office coming out to talk about home safety. We've got Central Security Systems going to do a seminar on home security and how to manage that with your home. You can go online and see all of the different seminars we have. You can go to mchba.com/annual-events, and you can get a look at the website for the Home and Garden Show, everything that's going to be there, all the exhibitors that are going to be there. If you have something in mind, or as Martin said, if you don't have something in mind, you can find somebody there who can show you what you either have in mind or need to have in mind.
Now, this event's happening Friday, Saturday, Sunday at the Fair Barn, and it's an annual event, and one ticket gets you in all 3 days. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. So if you go Friday and you find some things you like, you're going to drag hubby to it. Well, you don't have to rebuy a ticket. You can only.
Well, you're going to have a wristband that you can bring with you.
Okay, and then you have a special price or discount for the military. Tell us about that.
On Friday, any active duty soldier with an active duty ID can bring themselves and their spouses in for free. It's something that we wanted to do to show our support for the military, to give them the opportunity. There are more and more military people from Fort Bragg who are moving into Moore County. This hopefully will give them the opportunity to come in, and if they've got an idea, they'll be able to find somebody who can help them out.
And kids under 12 are free.
Yes.
Okay. And the hours again for this Friday?
Friday 11 to 5, Saturday 9 to 5, Sunday 11 to 5. We've got something that I want to bring up also that we're doing Thursday night. We've done a program in the past, and this Thursday evening from 6 to 9 p.m., we're doing a fundraiser to support Habitat for Humanity of the North Carolina Sandhills, where you can come in, make a tax-deductible contribution, $25 if you pre-register, $40 at the door, and you can come in and see everything you want to see and at the same time support a great cause, helping low-income families have housing. You can go to the website that you can go to register for that is moorecountyexpo.com.
Okay. And you might want to swing that mic over there. Let me ask, because Warren Wakeland came in a little late. He's the executive director of the Moore County Home Builders Association. And I'm sure you got a couple of things to add to this pie of knowledge we've been talking about this morning.
Well, actually, I'm the current president of the Moore County Home Builders Association.
Okay.
And we are going to have a great weekend here in Moore County. as a local builder myself with Masters Properties, there's not a better venue to come out and display your business, but there's not a better place for local people in the community to come out and see what our industry has to offer for your home. As they said earlier, from the smallest projects in your home, fixing a gutter, on up to a whole house remodel or actually building your home. There'll be a lot of great choices out there this weekend, and we look forward to seeing everybody out there.
Yeah, I got the names mixed up, and I apologize. It's John Potter.
Yes.
Right. And he, like you said, president of the Moore County Home Builders Association. How long have you been president? This is a one-year term every
It's
year?
a one-year term. Right now I'm in my going into my third month.
Okay, so you got a long ways to go.
We do, but we've got a lot of great things on the horizon for this year. Warren and I recently attended our first quarter meeting for the North Carolina Home Builders Association, and a lot of neat things coming on the horizon for our association and our industry here in North Carolina.
How many members you got now here in Moore County?
I believe we've got 210.
That's good.
But we also had 10 new ones just join, so our goal this year is to increase our membership by at least 75, and we'll be promoting here in the near future all the great benefits on a city, a state, and a national level for joining us here at the Moore County Home Builders Association.
Now, all the money that you bring in, what happens to that? That comes in from this expo.
Well, it also helps pay for the show,
right?
But it also helps us here at the Moore County Home Builders Association to sustain our costs for the year, and help us promote into the community what we're going to be doing for the future.
And do you all give scholarships, I believe?
We do.
Yeah.
We also have a golf tournament every year, which helps support local students in getting scholarships for working into the trades in the future. We're also working with Sand Hills Community College and the local high schools to help promote the trades, kind of like our own farm club, so that we can get more people interested in working in our field, and that we can have more contractors here in the area to work with. One thing that we are facing right now in the industry is a shortage of labor. And so we're hoping here at the Moore County Home Builders Association is to go ahead and help train through Sand Hills Community College and the local high schools our next set of subcontractors and laborers, and showing these young people that they can make a great living at what we do.
How might be getting a tad bit off topic here, but my forecast letters tell me we're getting ready to have a bit of a labor shortage, especially in the trades, in home building. How big a problem is that?
It's becoming a good problem, a bad problem, here in the area where we are short. You have to plan things a lot further ahead in getting people to come. But again, that's something at the Home Builder Association we can help with, and that is get out there into the community and show these young people that with the education at Sand Hills and helping and working with us, we can help mentor young people into our trade to help for the shortage that we've got here in North Carolina.
Well, let's, anything else we need to know about? By the way, we're going to be broadcasting from there on Saturday from 10 until noon. The All Things Moore County show will be broadcast live from the Home Builders Spring Home and Garden Expo. Like I said, it's going to be held at the Fair Barn, so we invite you to come out and be a part of it and learn the new trends. There's always, there are things that you just can't, when you go to these things, there are things you can't get out of magazines. There are things you can't imagine yourself. And when you get there, you can actually lay hands on the product, see the ideas, and see the new trends, and find products that fit your situation. And that's what these shows do. And like I said, I found them invaluable when I was building, that I could stay ahead of the competition by going to the shows and seeing the new products and the new looks and the new designs. At one time, mirrors were a big thing, and you can get a 5-year jump on the rest of the competition if you incorporate these ideas into your homes today.
Yeah, it's going to be a great weekend, and I'll just tell you this: on a weekend, you want to get yourself out of the house, bring your kids and the whole family to come down, enjoy lunch or dinner at the expo, see a lot of good trends in the area, and we've got food trucks like the Marketplace and Roasted and Toasted and Wildfire Pizza and 19 Drive that are going to be there, that you can come out and just take some time to get out with your family and enjoy some good food and some good things here at the Moore County Home Builder Association.
Well, we've been talking with John Potter, who is Moore County Home Builder Association president, and also Warren Wakeland, who's the executive director, and Martin Hovland, who is with Builders First Source over there on Highway 5, and he's one of the major sponsors of this thing. Anything that we need to know that I haven't asked this morning?
Well, there's a lot of things.
Well, you got to get on the microphone there.
There's a lot of things, but we probably need a couple of hours to go through it all. So,
okay. Well,
one of the main things, as we say, we're trying to do some good things for the community. And this evening, Thursday night, that we're doing with Habitat for Humanity, we're going to have a wine tasting. Triangle Wine Company has donated all of the wine for this. You can come in and taste all different kinds of wine you want to taste. You'll be able to see the show itself. You'll be able to talk to a lot of the vendors who will be there Thursday night. We're excited about everything that we're offering.
You can also pre-register for the Moore County Expo for just $25 or pay $40 at the door.
For the Habitat.
That's for the Habitat night, Thursday night.
Let's see. I think that we covered everything in the notes here.
All the contributions for Habitat Night, all the proceeds go to Habitat, and every dollar you donate is tax deductible.
And the kids under 12 do get in free to this. And don't forget, military personnel with active duty ID and their spouses get in free on Friday. All right, well, gentlemen, we've got it all covered. I appreciate you all coming in this morning, and
we appreciate you having us.
We look for great success. And we'll be out there broadcasting, like I said, live Saturday morning from 10 until noon, and we look forward to that.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks, guys. It is 8:47 past the hour on this. What is this? Tuesday morning. When you get up as early as I do, some of these days run together, but. We'll move on to rim shots this morning and see what we have in that. Well, I got to cut that off, that's for sure. Rim shots. First in the queue, Khloe Kardashian will reveal the gender of her baby on this weekend's finale of Keeping Up with the Kardashians. Grandma Chris is excited to find out if she's having a baby or a meal ticket. Kanye West and Kim Kardashian recently taped an episode of Family Feud. No confirmation yet on who the winner of the show was, but the loser is anyone who heard this story and eagerly rushed to set their DVR. The Weinstein Company has filed for bankruptcy, so for a change, it'll be the company's financial records that get exposed. Mark Hamill is in talks to join the cast of Guardians of the Galaxy 3. Man, did Guardians of the Galaxy 2 not suck bad enough? Anyway, but he says he'll only sign on if he gets to play a character who actually does something. 67-year-old Jane Seymour poses in the latest issue of Playboy. I hope other elderly stars hear her message of female empowerment and disregard it. A certain portion of the federal government infrastructure plan will go to projects that lift American spirit. In other words, get ready for Uncle Sam's weed clinic. Wallet Hub named San Francisco the hardest working U.S. city. Obviously, the study did not include players for the Giants baseball team. There is nicotine in eggplant, so we may have finally found a way for the average American to pick up a vegetable here. And a designer is selling a clear plastic bag for $600. It's a fun, easy way to let others know that when it comes to money, you're a total dummy.
Can there be any other explanation?
Not really, but you get out on the West Coast, man, they don't like it unless it's expensive.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not paying $50 to park your car for 2 hours, you're just not cool. It's unbelievable.
Well, and New York City. New York City?
I was out in San Francisco. This was back in the early 80s. That's how long ago this was. And I was there with my...
I wasn't even born yet.
Then future wife.
Future ex-wife.
Future wife and ex-wife. And she was one of those ones, if it was in the city, it just had to be expensive. And they said, let's go to breakfast. And we go and eat breakfast for four at a restaurant. Just a simple little, eggs, bacon, hash brown breakfast for 4 people. $60. And this is in $1980. Today, that'd be at least $200 in today's dollars. I mean, holy cow. I would squeamish at $60 for today, for a breakfast.
Yeah.
But gracious, it's just that way out there. Everything is expensive and chic and all that crap. They would. I went to a Moroccan restaurant. I got drugged to that. First of all, they don't have parking lots. They just play musical cards with your cards in the street while you eat. There's some guy that does that, which you have to tip. And you sit on the floor, and you hold your hands out over the middle of the table, and they pour water over your hands. Then they give you stuff to eat, and no eating utensils. That didn't go over well with me, because you had to eat everything with your fingers. And the one thing, rice, you think they'd leave the rice in this, normal size? No, they chop it up fine. You have to. I said, how are you supposed to eat this? And he holds 3 fingers out and says, you scoop it like that. And I'm like, oh, give me a break. Moroccan restaurant. Didn't go over well in my bag. But anyway, what can I say? All right, 7:53. Let's do what everybody wants to do. And let's go chase some bad guys.
I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog, too.
What we've got here is failure to mutate.
Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? When you were 8 and you had bad traits, you're going to...
All right, my friends, it's time once again to suck in that big breath of air, let a big hairy chest stick out as we strut across the floor in the style of the Duke, John Wayne. Open up our closet doors, look at all 30 of our Liberty safes from Carthy Shooting Sport. And today we're going to go to safe number 18. This one's full of little derringers. We got the manly looking ones and the female style ones. We'll let Matt pick one out.
Actually, we want you to try out for our lady listeners one of the more feminine models here. Feminine only because it's got a pink grip. Otherwise, it's a 357 Magnum Bond Arms Mama Bear.
She's some 357?
357, baby.
Wow. Oh, we'll slide it into my pocket holster. Pin on our badge, grab 5 kids and whoop ass as we now head out the door.
Here, I've got you a garter holster. You can just slip it under your skirt
right.
there.
In relentless pursuit of some stupid criminal news. There's a 64-year-old guy named Joseph Strop, who's been America's most wanted deadbeat dad for almost 20 years. He owes more than $500,000 in back child support for his 4 kids, who are on your nickel, by the way. And he's been on the run since 1998. Well, he was finally caught earlier this month, and it all happened because he tried to run an amateur scam involving, what do they call it? Maraschino cherries. Is that pronounced right?
Maraschino
cherries.
What, are you not speaking the Italian?
No, and it turns out he's been living in Alberta, Canada, under a fake name. Back in November, he was at a bar and ordered a cherry Coke with 8 maraschino cherries. A few minutes later, he started yelling that he broke his tooth on the pit of one of the cherries. But maraschino's cherries don't have pits. And the manager became suspicious. He started Googling this guy, and he found on Facebook page 1, he found a Facebook page 1 of his sons had started about the child support. So he called the police. They coordinated with the FBI and the U.S. Marshals, and this guy was arrested earlier this month. He'll now be facing trial for violating child support. I could get him some time. All right, stupid criminal news well, let's stop with one. Let's do that. One for the day. We'll keep the others for tomorrow and save them because we'll just move right on into our random fact for today since Matt would be heartless.
And now it's time for
Random facts. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Matt would be devastated if he didn't get his fact for today.
Oh, I think I just broke a tooth on that lifesaver you gave me.
There's a statue from 1909 that's still on the books in a statute, I should say, not a statue. A law, in other words. Still on the books in Missouri that says if a bull has been running loose for at least 3 days, anyone can castrate it. There's a nicotine eggplant, but not much. You'd have to eat 20 pounds of eggplant to get the nicotine effects for one cigarette.
It's only about 20 pounds too much.
Frederick Barr is the inventor of Pringles, and before he died in 2008, his final request was to be cremated and buried in a Pringles can. His children fulfilled his request.
Whatever.
Madison only became popular name for girls after Splash came out in 1984 when Daryl Hannah's character picks the name Madison Avenue from a Madison Avenue street sign. Tom Hanks even says, quote, but Madison isn't a name. And The Matrix came out in 1999 when Neo shows his passport, the expiration date is September 11th, 2001.
And yet, the movie came out way before that.
And that's your random facts for today. And so it goes for this Tuesday. Have yourself a great, safe day. We'll see you back bright and early tomorrow, 7 to 9 for a Hump Day Wednesday already. Until then, be sure to support all the mom and pops you hear on our airways because they are the backbone of our economy here in Moore County. Your money will stay here, roll over, and create jobs. And don't forget, millions of Americans, they have fought and they have died to give and protect the freedoms that you get to enjoy today. Live today worthy of their and their family's sacrifice. I'm Steve Leader Adams and the Leader Man, and Nick and Colt the dog. We'll all see you at 2 o'clock this afternoon at the dog park.
And I'm Matt Horsey with a quote from French novelist and critic Marcel Proust. We don't receive wisdom. We must discover it for ourselves after a long journey that no one can take for us or spare us. Chris Plant is up next, and you can join the conversation and like us at facebook.com/WEEB990. We'll be back tomorrow at 7 for Mornings with the Leader Man right here on Talk 97.3 FM.